when I see stuff like that, man, it be so amazing to me, man, because nobody really pays attention to stuff like that. Like I look at the fine detail, because I'm like, dog, how close you got or how much you really rock with somebody to say, man, look, man, this nigga work at Taco Bell now. He's in one of the biggest movies ever. Let me go get my pocket.
Get him.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
That
real.
lets you know they kind of ran together probably all the time. They might not been messed up, but for him to go get them, and it was good. I think it was a great movie, man. I think it was a great movie, man, that I think so many people didn't appreciate it because they were looking for one.
I done seen them bits and pieces myself.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? If you sit down and watch it all
I ain't
the way
watched
through,
it straight through yet.
you will be able to appreciate how, you know what I'm saying, how they set that thing up, man. It was fine.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch it again, man, because I ain't gonna lie. I was one of them people that was looking for one because, you know, like that classic was just that. It was a classic, you know? And so when you think about coming to America, it's nostalgic moments, bro, that you know, come to mind. And so, yeah, just having to learn how to adapt to change. Yeah, because I watched it the first time and I was like, all right, it's straight, it's cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like I gotta watch it again just to be able to appreciate it.
Yeah, he got a little taste of one in there. I ain't gonna say it's one, but you know, it's his own movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's the new groove of movies. Some of the technology they had on this one, you know, wasn't even thought of on one. So you know what I'm saying? It's like a whole different look.
Yeah,
man. So you know, Eddie did the thing. I'm sure, like I said, I gotta go watch it all the way through. I done seen the beginning, I done seen the end. The middle is what I gotta see.
You fell asleep?
Nah, we was actually watching it in here on Prime one day. I think I went to get lunch or I left out to get some supplies or something one day, and I missed the middle part of it. When I came back, it was more so toward the end.
Gotcha.
And I hadn't attempted to watch it since, but.
Well, I'll tell you like this: instead of coming to America, we coming live at the Barbershop.
Yes, sir.
For another episode
live
of
at the
Barbershop Stories, the podcast, or better yet, Barbershop Stories, the talk show. Episode 76. We're gonna start with the talk show with Jonathan J.T. Moore. He's a candidate for District 4, school board, and
City Council.
Oh, you know, my fault. See, that let you know you listen. The City Council. We said with my man No Nose. We got K1 back
Keep that info for you.
Man, I'm gonna move your camera too. Hold on. All right, boom. That's it. Tell me to stop. Right there. All right, bet. Look at that. It's live, so you're gonna see live shit. You know what I'm saying? So look at yourself back there, JT.
Oh, you can see me back there?
Nigga, you ain't
all right, cool.
Lay down. All right. I'm trying to do all this shit. I'm trying to straighten that suit coat out.
Clean.
You don't count. But yeah, District 4, City Council, man. You know, we want to see what he got to talk about, a little bit about Brother JT, what he got going, what his plan is for the city, what he want to present, you know, and just we just want to see what Brother JT is, man. So let me get on around here. What's going on? What's going on? Hey,
I'm kicking it.
Yeah, hey, before we even get there, man, make sure you like, watch, and share this episode. Well, man, you know what I'm saying? It's a live talk show, and this is a real barbershop. It ain't just a scene or a set. We are in a barbershop. Our ass got to be work in the morning. So, hey,
just got through work.
That's right. So make sure you come through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Make sure you go to Google and just Google us, Benny Max on first, and just check our reviews. Because that says more than what anything that I can say, Sam say, anybody say. Just, we're going to let the people tell it. But right now, we talking to JT. I am comedic narrator, haircut slanger, Benny Mac, and that gentleman down the end is.
Hey, like you said, No Nose. We keep some info for you. Y'all check it out, man. JT in here tonight to give us his spiel on, I guess, you know, what's going on in the city abroad, you know what I'm saying? And what he plans to do if and when he wins council. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go with it. We're going to listen, man. We're going to open our ears. You know, Barbershop Stories is a platform where we talk about these issues and more.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's roll, man. We want to hear what you got to say, JT. Right. Hey, over to y'all, fellas.
We'll start out. We're gonna throw it in there. We're going to throw this live. Don't do it like LeBron them yesterday, man.
I got you. I ain't going to drop it.
Who is JT? Who is JT Moore, man?
So, first, before I get into who JT Moore is, I want to, number one, just say thank y'all for having me here. Just wanted to piggyback off what Benny Mac said. as far as getting a haircut here, like I got a chance to even find out about the barbershop because I was in a pinch. I actually needed a haircut last minute, and I was like, man, where can I go? I Googled it real quick, and I found out it was right up the street. So came up here, my boy Sam, he hooked me up a couple times, yeah. And so just want to say thank you for that. So yeah, they do really do some good work. But now, who is JT Moore? Shoot, I'm just somebody who, you know, is a resident and, you know, native of Birmingham. Live here in South Woodlawn. Me and my wife have lived here for the past 7-8 years. Got 2 kids, 2 daughters, Nuri and Dior. And yeah, man, somebody who has really just felt like it's my responsibility to walk in purpose. And most people would say, well, what does that mean? And, you know, the best way I could describe it is just saying that, you know, I believe that every person has either a problem that they're here to solve or a group of people that they're here to fight for or, you know, advocate for. And so I've lived my life by that. I used to work at A.G. Gaston Boys and Girls Club, and everybody knows that A.G. Gaston has a famous quote that says, find the need and fill it. And like that has always resonated with me. And so really when I hear that statement, it is pretty much A.G. Gaston saying, hey, find a way to add value. Find a way to, you know, take what you've been given, the gifts, talent, skills, ideas that you have, and, you know, put good use to it and make it work for somebody else. And so, yeah, man, I'm just somebody who tries to find that need and fill it. Yeah, I don't necessarily, like somebody had told me a long time ago, they told me, if you see somebody that needs help, don't ask them if they need help. Just help them, you know. Don't degrade them in that moment just to, you know, make them say that they need you. Like just show up. And so that's who JT is. He's just somebody that just shows up and tries to assist in whatever way he can.
How old are you, JT?
So I am currently 33 years old.
You said you currently, well, I mean, it couldn't be nothing else but currently.
Right, you know, I mean, sure, you always changing, you always getting older,
yeah,
you know.
They be 33 in so many days tomorrow.
Right, there you go. Work with me, man.
All right, so for me, just hearing you, you know,
Yeah.
you give your spiel, you're a family man, you got a wife, you got children.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that's a need that had to be filled in itself. Because I have a wife and 2 children myself, 2 daughters to be exact.
Oh, that's what's up.
19 and 9. So when I think about that, and you think about the demand for what it is to take care of household and your personal issues alone, what would even make you want to get into politics? Like, you know, because you know it's a dirty game, man. You sound like a great guy. What would make you even want to get involved in that shit? That shit show.
Nah,
shit
man.
show.
So I'm gonna tell you. So during the pandemic, right? Everybody was quarantined at their homes. Like I said, I have 2 daughters. One is 2 years old. Another is 1. And one of my daughters, my oldest, she wanted to go outside and play in the yard, right? So we've lived in South Woodlawn for the longest. And so anybody who knows anything about Woodlawn, you know that we are a neighborhood in transition. No, everything is not perfect. We still have some things that we're working on. But went outside and we were about to go in the yard, and, you know, I had to rush and pick her up real quick because there was a used condom in my front yard. Somebody just, you know, tossed it in the yard, right?
Wow.
It's countless times I can remember having to go and pick up, you know, bottles of pee, you know, that have just been thrown on my street or in my yard. And, you know, things like that, you know, when you're trying to take care of the responsibilities of your home, you want to be able to provide a safe environment for your kids to live, for your kids to, you know, have fun and be raised. And for me, it started off as a matter of me just, you know, saying, okay, this is a problem, this is an issue. Who do I get in touch with? Who do I, you know, reach out to solve this? And so as I started to, you know, kind of work my way through the different chains of command, wherein, you know, trying to address, you know, neighborhood association or trying to address, you know, the police officers or, you know, current representation, I started realizing that, the only way that these issues will start to be addressed is if I get involved, because I keep getting the runaround. Like, you keep telling me to go over here and talk to, you know, the police, and they keep telling me to come talk to you. So who am I really supposed to talk to? Because at some point, somebody just needs to stand up and say, you know what, JT? Like, I might not be able to, you know, be the one to tell this entity or department to, you know, address this, but let's work on it together. Like,
see about getting something done.
let's get something done, because I'm solutions oriented. Like, at the end of the day, we got to have some solutions.
But see, now I ain't gonna lie. Now I know you say you can find a couple rubbers and a couple cups and stuff in your yard, but until you had a whole bag with to-go boxes, the cup, and all thrown in your yard, y'all ain't messing with East Lake.
Oh, bro, look,
Y'all ain't messing with
I
East
can
Lake.
one up
I
you.
seen somebody throw a whole. I'm talking about the whole meal.
Okay.
Naked chicken wing, from your there, naked chicken wing. I was like, I didn't cuz shit, man. Come on, man. I see the strong paper.
Yeah.
But the whole bag.
Listen, bro,
So,
like,
yeah, I feel you, man.
I was sitting on the porch. Me and my wife was sitting on the porch, and we live off of First Avenue South. A car pulled up, and, you know, it looked like a couple. They were getting into it, and the car just stopped out of nowhere in the middle of the road. You know, almost caused an accident and everything. Girl jumps out, and she like, cussing and everything, and she throws all this man clothes on my sidewalk. Like, everything. Started just throwing everything out the car. He get out the car, he mad. He like, why you throwing my stuff? And so I just run in the house and get a garbage bag real quick. And I'm like, yeah, I know you upset. Throw it in here. Like, put all this stuff in the, you know, in the trash bag or whatever. And so, yeah, until you done had a whole drawer of clothes thrown out on your yard, like, East Lake ain't got nothing on South Woodlawn. I ain't trying to get into, you know, we got it battle Olympics, but
I tell you what, I'm gonna one up. You one up me.
man.
You won that one. I give you that. You won that one. But y'all ain't got no young dude walking around the neighborhood where their outfit matched the pistol. Y'all ain't got that. You ain't seen them around with no extendo with no rhinestones in it. You ain't seen
brother.
that. They be so sharp with that little pistol.
brother, I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it. You know?
Shout out to East Lake, Port Madrid, baby. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I mean,
They paid, but still the same.
Yeah, but it just shows that, you know, a lot of the issues that we have in our city, though, are across the board. It's not just one neighborhood, you know.
That's right.
It's not just one neighborhood. It's several of the same issues. And so, again, we just need somebody to step up and, you know, really be willing to address those issues and bring people to the table to say, okay, these are the problems. These are the things that we're dealing with. How can we fix them? And one of the things that I've really been encouraging people to do is to join their neighborhood association. Like, if we're going to, you know, address anything, like, we got to do it together. Like, we have to, you know, every neighborhood in this city, all 99 neighborhoods, have a neighborhood association. And what neighborhood associations are is an opportunity for residents to get involved, to come together, to say, hey, these are our problems. This is what we can do to solve it. And it really builds camaraderie. And I feel like it's a very underutilized tool within the neighborhoods. And I just see it as an opportunity for everybody to really take what they have to make our neighborhoods better. And so
JT, so far as with like the neighborhood association, I know we got the pleasure of talking to Robert Walker. He come in and get his hair cut. He's over in the Wyoming community.
Okay.
So he
neighborhood president.
Yeah, he talked about a lot of the things that I really never knew about with the neighborhood commission. Do you think a lot of people don't participate because they simply just don't know? Because you know, I think sometimes we assume these folks be in tune with what's going on. But you got to remember, man, some people's income levels don't allow them to say, let me focus on the neighborhood association.
Gotcha.
Now they focus
Don't
on
realize the power that they
Yeah,
hold.
you know what I'm saying?
And that they can go through them and do certain things, like you said.
Yeah, I think a lot
Even if they know it's there.
Yeah, I think a lot of them, I think legitimately, and I'm not an excuse man. There's reasons, but it ain't no excuse for nothing. I think a lot of them simply just don't know, or they haven't been exposed enough to it to say that, bro, you know, if we do this, we can do this.
Absolutely.
It's a bunch of separate ideas. So it's kind of hard to make that work when everybody busting their own routes. You know what I'm saying?
So I know for a fact that a lot of people aren't participating because they don't know. And I'll just give you the numbers because I looked at how many people are actually in this city. We have over, I want to say close to a little over 209,000 people that are, you
And
know,
then drop some more.
huh?
So it drop some more.
Yeah.
It was 212 last time I looked at it.
Yeah, so it's a little over 209,000 people in this city, but only 3,500 people actually voted in neighborhood elections. That's around like 2% of the people in this city that actually voted in neighborhood elections. And you say, well, yeah, you know, well, what's so significant about that? Well, what's significant about it is, other than the fact that it's just less than 2% of people in this city that voted for it, that means that 2% of the people are actually making decisions about what happens in your neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I do believe that there are a lot of people who don't know about neighborhood association, and that's one of the things that I want to make sure that I'm informing people about, educating them on, so that they know how to get involved. Because I truly believe, like, if we have more people involved, we can get a lot more done. People don't know that in neighborhood associations, you could actually form committees for specific things, right? So, say for instance, we say, all right, well, a lot of people in our neighborhood don't know about neighborhood association. We can actually form a committee that says we want to focus on recruitment and orientation. So when we have new people that move into our neighborhood, or when, you know, we're trying to recruit more members to join our neighborhood association, we can have a committee of people that's their main focus. Like, hey, we're gonna, you know, make sure that we're knocking on doors, we're introducing ourselves, you know, we're going out telling them about all the things that are happening and getting engaged. And I just think that we need more people that are willing to meet people where they are. I've talked to several folks who have told me, like, you know, back in the day, we used to get notifications from the neighborhood association. They used to mail out these little flyers to us, and let us know what the days are and things of that nature. I didn't know that they were still doing it. And that may have been the case, but we just got to meet people where they are. And, you know, it doesn't hurt to go and knock on the door and say, hey, neighbor, like, I'm your, you know, your neighborhood president or vice president or secretary or whatever, and we would love to have you involved, and get you engaged. So,
yeah, that's what's up. All right, now we got a gentleman on here on the live, Mark Ferris. What's up, Mark Ferris? He's an Irondale native, and he's involved in politics himself. So of course he gonna have plenty of questions for you because he think you fine.
All right.
I tell you straight up, Mark think you fine. So Mark gonna ask some good questions.
I appreciate you, Mark.
All right. So Mark said, "What up, Chris? What's going on? Hey, Khalid, appreciate you tuning in. What up, Wakila? What's happening? Make sure you like, watch, and share this live. You don't mind. We don't mind. We appreciate the shit. All right. Mark said, what is the biggest problem facing your district, and how do you propose on improving it?
Got you.
What up, Connie?
I'm gonna just go back to it. So I feel like one of the hugest issues that we have right now is lack of community. Lack of community. And by lack of community, I mean lack of trust. I can't tell you like how many people I've talked to and that I've asked, like, hey, you know, have you talked to your neighbor about, you know, such and such, or do you know the people on your street? And there's been so many people that's just like, I don't talk to these folks. Like, I stay in my house, in my bubble. I don't have no reason to talk to such and such. And I just feel like that's such a problem because that's not really how I grew up. That's not how I grew up. I'm originally from Bush Hills, right off Bush Boulevard. And, you know, I grew up with my grandparents. And I knew everybody on my street and everybody knew me, you know. My babysitter was like 2 or 3 doors down. And so, like, I could go to her house, you know, I was over her house majority of the time, and, you know, the candy lady stayed down the street, and, you know, everybody just knew one another, and, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a strong sense of community, and so I think we have to get back to that, because the truth of the matter is, like, if we don't start talking to one another, if we don't start working together, like, we're going to start losing ground in our own communities, in our own, you know, city. And I feel like that's very unfortunate. You know, you talked about how the city is shrinking. Like, it's not a lie. It's not a game. Like, the city is really shrinking because we have so many people that have lost hope in Birmingham. And they've decided, like, you know what? I'm going to go take my chances in, you know, the Trustvilles or the Hoovers or, you know, I'm going to spend all this extra money just to live in an apartment when you can stay right here in your house, your family house that, you know,
way cheaper.
Yeah, for way cheaper.
But let me ask you this though, like when I think about it, like me, man, I love having conversations when people talk about gentrification.
Okay.
Because in one side of me, I don't really believe in it. But on the other side of me, I kind of believe in it. But I'm going to tell you why I'm torn between the two.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm a man of perspective, and I look at it like this. Poverty is intentional. The situation that some people are in is intentional. So it's kind of like, you know what? If I put you in a certain position, you know there's only certain things you're going to do to try to get out of it. You're going to sell some dope, and then selling some dope going to lead to more issues and more issues. And then, of course, you build a prison, industrial complex, and so on, right?
Right.
So when some people, like I heard a guy, he was talking about, man, these white folk, they gentrifying. But I was like, you mad at the person who moving, but that person that had their house broken into several times. Your main concern be them children, them beautiful, them long-faced ass children that out there playing their yard. You concerned about.
Yeah.
So quite naturally, you gonna want what you consider to be a better school, a better opportunity. You don't want to be this and that. But on the other hand, it's like, well, if you run, how will you ever correct it? What your children gonna have to experience because you didn't want to stand up and fight for, you know what I'm saying, for the community. So it's like I see both sides, and then on the gentrification part, it's like, can you be mad at somebody who's a real estate investor, white or black, that say, damn, that one over $3,000 for this house. Call a couple more partners, nigga, and buy the whole block when you didn't want it.
Right.
Because I also know guys where their grandma died, left them maybe $50,000, house paid for, and they might have needed $8,000 worth of work. That bitch would have been immaculate. The nigga sold the house for $20,000 and took that and got a mortgage.
My God.
So it's kind of like you know what I'm saying? That's why I say I see it both sides, because I understand why people move. Because like I said, I stay in the beautiful East Lake Estates behind the Conoco off of Porto.
I hear you.
Yeah, so I stay up there. And, you know, you hear, real, fuck, nigga, every day.
Yeah.
That shit get old.
It do.
Now I had a bullet come through, not my roof. That shit came through, it tore through the wood and had a big leak in my eye. I'm like, what the fuck this leaking from? But it was a bullet hole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got cheered. You know what I'm saying? And then you think about all the other stuff, and I had my house broken too. And it's like me, I like it because it don't really bother me. I know problems exist anywhere, but that shit get to be a little annoying.
Nah, you right.
You know what I'm saying? Because then it's like, because see, the problem is when your old lady be like, you know,
Right.
and then you like, damn, you know, because she right, but you know,
Yeah.
no, we're going to sit here, but in your heart, you like, man, shit. Go move somewhere where that shit look good 4 miles to the door.
Yeah, listen.
I don't want to pass by a nigga sleep in the middle of First Avenue to get home sometimes. Sometimes I just want to, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I see it both ways, man.
Yeah.
So,
I understand what you're saying, because it's almost like that's the individual aspect of looking at it.
Yeah.
But it's like, at the same time, it's like the whole outlook is still that's a reason why the communities have dwindled like they have as far as the quality of individuals that stay from house to house.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, okay, I don't know who that was coming here all the time. You used to say, we used to always talk about it, okay, he's coming here, he used to always say, I remember when we were younger, and he was older than us, so he was saying when he was younger, and we remember a little bit of it from when we were younger. You had all kind of men that stayed in the community as well as women, and they worked all kind of jobs. School teachers, plant workers, mailmen, firemen, policemen. You knew somebody that did all these, you know what I'm saying? It was different quality of individuals that stayed in the community. So even if these people made an individual choice to leave, and for their own betterment, whatever that may be, whatever their perspective on better is, it still don't change the fact that left a hole in that community from somebody quality that was removed from that situation that a child next door could have had to look up to. I mean, you know, I mean, those choices gonna forever be made because that's life. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a tough one, man, because I know, like, sometimes, like me, man, like, it be funny to me because I like hood shit.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't like the hood shit.
Right.
Because I like being around my people. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like sometimes all the bullshit come with it. Because, like, I can deal with niggas selling drugs and folks because I'm used to them type folks. I accept them type folks. I don't have a problem with that. But my semi-bougie children, they don't understand when you see this nigga with some red eyes, high as hell, pan holding down. He look violent to them. Now,
Yeah.
not quite as much, but I can see why people move.
Yeah.
Like, for an example, too, like when you think about people moving from the community, too, it's almost like it's the inevitable, man. Like when you look at, like I love history. When you look back at it, it's been the same shit.
It's been the same.
Like to me,
It's a cycle.
black people were tricked into integration. That's my opinion.
No.
But you know, okay, that's me.
I don't think we realized what we had.
It's like you basically said, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go take this motherfucker shit that don't even like me. They tolerated you, and you end up losing all your shit. Because now I remember when corner stores were black people.
Mm.
Like for real, I'm 41. I remember when corner stores was black people. When you went to the store, it was the old man or the old lady, but you stayed, like say, a few blocks down the road, and everybody knew them. Your folks ain't have no money. You got groceries free until your dad or grandma, whomever, got the check. But now,
Just buy a pack of cigarettes at the sale mall.
it's like it was. That's
take
why.
to your folks anyway.
That's what I meant by it was all intentional. Because when I sat there and made you want, because you thought your ice was cold, the same fucking refrigerator, but his ice a little bit cold.
Yeah.
So then when I said, all right, you know what? Come on. You left your shit, which means property value went down and all that. And the whole time, they might have said, we ain't going to get it now. But in 20 years, mature to get it. And then now, look what you see.
The long game.
Long game, you know, and I don't think, it's hard to think about a long game when you've been fucked up so long.
Yeah.
It's hard, man, when you ain't never had shit and somebody give you a old piece of ass house. Like, I remember Sam, he'll say the example all the time. He was like, his folks that's older than him, uncles and shit, was like, nigga, when we had an opportunity to get the projects, that was like, whoo.
Wow.
Because you got to think where niggas was coming from. Shotgun house,
Yeah.
outhouses and shit. So that was like, what?
Wow.
So then you think about now,
Man,
it's the same shit. You put somebody in a fucked up position, you make them appreciate shit that ain't even valued.
Yeah, I mean,
Suede.
listen,
Yeah.
it is very complex, right? I put up a post probably a month or so ago now, and I was actually in the North Birmingham area, had come upon a vacant lot, because as I've been canvassing, knocking on doors and talking to folks, like I'm seeing several vacant lots. And when I talk to people in the community, they always tell me like, yeah, Miss Essie used to live here, or Miss such and such used to live there, but they left they house to their, grandkids or their kids, and they let it fall by the wayside. Somebody got in there and burned it up. And so, and so I put up a post, and I was just like, for those of you who are led, right, who feel led, meaning you prayed about this, you have a peace about it, right? For those of you who feel led, come back to Birmingham, because we need you. Like, we need you. And I got a lot of, pushback about it for some of the same reasons that you made mention of, because it's just like, man, there's a whole bunch of hood stuff going on around here that, some people can't deal with. And I agree with that. But back to my earlier point, purpose is about a problem that you're here to solve and a group of people that you're here to fight for. Everybody ain't built the same. Like, everybody ain't built the same. And so everybody can't fight some of the same fights, right?
Some nigga built out of silly putty.
Yeah, for real, and you got to be honest with yourself about, what problems and challenges you are willing to address. Now, I know several people who live outside of Birmingham right now who I was encouraging to come to Woodlawn, right? I was like, look, come to Woodlawn. Think about it. Yes, we got issues, but we can work together by living in the same community. I could look out for you. You could look out for me.
He's gonna change
We could
on his own.
We could work on this thing together. For years, folks was like, man, gone. Ain't nobody trying to move to Woodlawn. Nobody will ever move there. Lies. We see today that we got houses.
I can't tell.
Listen, we got houses selling for over $200,000.
Yeah, but the thing is though, it's like people, you gotta remember that word vision. That's a powerful word.
It is
It's
yes.
a 5-letter word, powerful as a motherfucker, because everybody don't have it. So like me, I'm telling you, man, my wife, I swear, at least. Like, I don't even like to mention house. I only like to say the word house around her. Because when I say it, she get hyped. But I see something that she don't see, and that ain't no knock on her. I understand.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I'm like, in about 3 years, this same little bit of house that I almost paid for would be worth 3, 4, no, probably about 6 times. I bought it on foreclosure.
Okay.
6, 7 times what it's worth. Or even as a rental property, it could be $1,200, $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think we move too quick on shit. But I understand why we move too quick on shit. Cause me, I understand history. Look at Atlanta and it'll tell you what's gonna happen to Birmingham. You know, it's not a set of projects in the inner city of Atlanta. A lot of the black population moved to the outskirts, and it wasn't because they wanted to. It's because the person, like, now some people call this a conspiracy theory, but I argue with them and say, look around the country, nobody's conspiring to do 70 cities at the same time. It's a plan.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, if you got an apartment complex, let's just say, for an example, in Hoover, right?
Okay.
And you got 1,000 units. All right, you normally in an apartment complex with 1,000 units normally stay 70 to 75% occupied, meaning they got 750 tenants or somewhere up and down. But out of them 750, a lot of them are delinquent and late and all that, right?
Right.
So then when you get ready to shift the city, this ain't gonna be no shift from this year to next year. It's gonna be planned. Tell you what, I know how to get you out. If all y'all getting government subsidies, you have no say so in where you move. Come to the owner, hey man, look, you want to fill these apartments up? Hell yeah, what you got for me? Man, look, I can move this Section 8 out here. I can have you 100% capacity. And you can go up on the rent by $50. Bet. Now you got Section 8 and Center Point, Hoover. Just think about where all this shit happening at now.
Yeah.
So now you go to moving folks out of the city and it looks right. It don't look like there's a problem with it. I'm moving to a better area. I remember when Center Point was niggas shit. If you stayed in Center Point, that was better than Harlem, Mountain Brook, Hoover, none of that shit. Like, that was shit. My cousin Robert O stayed in Vanderbrook in 95. We thought that nigga was rich. Like, real talk. So, when they went to doing it, but think about it, that neighborhood ain't shit when you move a bunch of people there that don't have income to keep it up.
Right.
So then you depress the city, property value go down, investors come in and buy that shit for next to nothing. And now that $2,000 house is now $250,000. The area you talking about on 55th Street, it used to be Crestwood Oaks. We used to stay there. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So to me, this is an orchestrated plan that is working very well. But we can't be mistaken that the reason why I say I'm kind of 50-50 on gentrification, because there's a lot of black folks that take advantage of the housing boom as well. The ones who ain't catch on are the ones who kind of doing most of the complaining.
But I don't think that, I don't think that it's bad that, black people are taking advantage of it too.
No.
Especially if you started off here, you know, like, because the thing that frustrates me is, when you think about like your grandparents or your uncle and auntie who worked all their life to pay off this house, they put all their blood, sweat, and tears in, trying to make sure that they paid off a house, and now they actually have something that they own. I feel like it's disrespectful to for them to leave that to you and for you to just let it go, for you to just give it away for pennies. And I think that it's a lack of, foresight, to just say, you know what, like, I'm gonna get this quick 20-something thousand, 50-something thousand, and, just let this house go because I need to, use this money for something else. Like, no, hold on to it. Everybody knows somebody that can fix something. Like, and even if you don't, like, it's resources that are available. And so I just think that it's important, number one, for folks to hold on to what they have and not just give it away. I think it's important for, our older community or our seniors to make sure that they have a will in place so that they can, really put things in place for your family not to have to figure out like who's getting what. We've had a lot of properties that have just sat and fell apart because the siblings can't figure out what they want to do with it. One person want to sell it, one person want to rent it, one person want to fix it up so little cuz can live there because he ain't got nowhere to stay, and all these different arguments. And so we got to have those tough conversations about what happens with this house. And again, I just think that it's a great opportunity for folks to come together to really take advantage of just this city and, just practicing what community feels like. I think a lot of times people are used to living in houses, but they're not used to living in community.
Yeah.
They not. You know, like it's okay now for people to have like a nice house, nice yard. You know, keep your section of the world in order.
Yeah, and it's
but
okay.
yeah, that's it. But we
Yeah.
gotta think bigger, and really realize that value follows mindset
Well,
every time.
And I agree with you, because I ain't gonna lie. Them niggas stay on the corner from Mill East Lake. I'm calling around on them.
Yeah.
I swear, it look like everything they cook, barbecue with, they leave that shit outside.
Yeah.
And when the wind blow, that shit on 4 yards. I'm telling you. First thing, Monday morning. I'm busy now, but Monday morning, I'm calling Rhonda, Lamontrez, Woodford.
Not Lamontrez.
Yeah, man. But no, I feel you though, but I'm not in defense of it, but here's another perspective.
Okay.
Look at it. I think, and it's just my opinion, I think what they call black folks, Aboriginal, you know what I'm saying, American, whatever you want to call it, but I'm going to use black folks as a term that's what's commonly used. All right. Black folks, to me, I think we are the shit. We just can't smell it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that a lot of
Facts.
people came from situations where they one generation into home ownership.
Okay.
So when you think about it, a nigga who been broke all their life, anybody, and then now grandma, granddad, whomever died, they left you a house and $100,000, right? The house regular as fuck, true.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in the housing, and somebody say, you know what? I give you $25,000 for it. It's kind of hard to turn it down when you don't have the knowledge
Right.
of being a real estate investor.
But that's what
Sometimes-
neighborhood association though.
Well, that's
well,
true. No, I agree. But you got to remember, broke conversations and nigga with some money conversation or knowledge conversation are totally different. You're like, I feel you, JT, but nigga.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they hear you, but it's one
Yeah.
generation out because the mom and dad who got it probably didn't even know what they was into. They probably paid more for the house and it was even worse. So now this person got a leg up with an insurance policy that's non-taxable and somebody
All
bought the
kind of
house.
variables can go in
You know what I'm
there.
saying? Yeah, in their
Yeah.
mind, they feel like they came up. A lot of times, thought like that, one, ain't for everybody, and two, don't come about until you desire the knowledge for it. Because, see, I know I was blessed with a father who that's what he's into. He always been an entrepreneur. But I also know some fathers that I ain't studying that shit, man. And they might have had that ain't studying that shit type folks, and it's like, it's kind of hard because then the people who always like, nigga, you sold that for $20,000.
Yeah.
Man, they sold this shit for $200,000, but they also put $100,000 in it.
Yeah.
So for the person who took that money, it might have been best for them to take that money, or they would have fucked it up anyway. Somebody would end up taking it.
Yeah.
Because you know nothing about real estate, or if you're not into it, or if you ain't got a homeboy to say, hey, bro, look, this how you do that shit.
Right.
A lot of times you got people like us saying, man, nigga, all you gotta do is research. Research what?
Well.
That type of
Well, how? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I don't be like to sound like I'm straddling the fence, but it's like I can kind of see it from both. Being a barber for 27 years, I can see it from both sides. Because some people literally simply play smart because they don't want to look like the person that's ignorant in the room, meaning just not knowing. They want, yo, nigga can refinance and get a motherfucker FHA. What the fuck is you talking about? But they just don't want to seem left out instead of saying, man, what the fuck is you talking about?
Right. But but I think that's why this position that I'm pursuing is so important, because somebody got to get on the bullhorn and say, like, hey, like, this is a problem. If you got a house that somebody has given you, just think about all the options before you sell. Yeah. And if you gonna sell, make sure that you get top dollar for it. Make them pay, Yeah. And so I think that, it's important to just create more spaces where we can share information, because that's the thing that's lacking. Like, so many people are making decisions, and they are informed decisions or uninformed decisions. Yeah. And so, just trying to make sure that, I'm sharing as much as I possibly can about what I know so that people can make the best decisions for them.
Yeah, and you know, man, and I really believe, like me, man, I'm an optimist, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when I read history and I think about the shit that Caucasians did around the world, when we read this history, I don't think we realize that shit wasn't like in 50 years. That shit was thousands of years. You read about the shit, you be like, man, that nigga slapped this nigga, cut his head off in 1 BC. You like, Rigel? It's 2021. So what I'm saying is the strides that blacks make, and I think, honestly, it's just me, I think we're doing fucking magnificent considering what that happened. But we living in the mode.
Absolutely.
Like, but it's like we in it. But if we can stop time or get outside of time and look at from that point to that point, we'll be like, boy, y'all came a long way.
Yeah.
So it's like what you doing and several others that I know, man, I think really we're ahead of the game. I just think the problem is now is that the narrative that people continue to perpetuate. And the sad part is a lot of times it's black folk. I heard a motherfucker say out of his mouth right here in this barber. Excuse me, I'm a habit cuss.
Hey, handle your business, bro. We at your house. We at your house.
Podcast episode 76, and I'm a cussing motherfucker. All right, now it was a guy came in here, right? And we was talking about the narrative, right? He was like, man, black people can't count, and black people they can't this. And he was saying basically all the shit they hear on the news. A man sound like, nigga, you perpetuating it. But guess who I was cutting at the time? A motherfucking account. What the chance? I thank God nothing happens by mistake. So while he was spitting that narrative, you talking to a whole bunch of men with houses and cars and wives and children and accounts. Not just no nigga who do no motherfucking TurboTax and no shit. I'm talking about niggas who actually do millions of dollars worth of other people's money. Right. So you got the nerve to spew that bullshit. And he's sitting there. That shit it wasn't offensive to him, but I could see if it was offensive. Like, hold on.
Contradiction sitting right here in the room.
You know what I'm saying? But just imagine how many black people go to barbershops, beauty shops, restaurants, and get among other old mind thinking folks and spew that bullshit among y'all, like how they be hard. We don't love each other. I'm like, well, goddamn. You in the room with I ain't kill nobody. He ain't kill nobody. He work. You speaking to the wrong people, but I think we put the bullshit on such a high plateau. It be kind of hard to look at your own people like they're successful because I'm
amplified.
Like, it's very amplified. But that's why I say I love what you're doing, man. Because just hearing you talk, you don't sound like you full of shit.
Oh, thank you.
Because if you're full of shit, I'd be like, JT, you know you're full of shit, right?
Well, thank you. I
You know
appreciate
what I'm saying?
that.
Yeah, you know
I pride
what I'm
myself on not being, you know what I'm saying?
That's real shit, man.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, man, it's people that you can hear is rehearsed.
Yeah.
You can tell at 33, because at 33, most niggas just now, like, you know, I'm going to chill out. Baby say I'm going to chill out with Keisha. I'm chill. But, you know, you at 33 to say, hey, man, I actually want to see something different for more than just myself. That's some commendable shit, man.
I got to, man.
Hey, man, y'all cash out JT some money.
Hey,
send it to
man, listen.
205, though. And I'm going to send it to him. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do like the Red Cross. We got to do administrative fees first. And then we're going to send him the rest.
Nah, man, but really, though, we got to, man. So I told you, I used to work at A.G. Gaston Boys and Girls Club.
Drinker said she worked up there with you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Ring the bell.
She speak real highly, man.
Yeah, man. Drinker good people,
What
man.
up, Drinker?
Drinker, our last diva. You know. Period, poo. But nah, man, like right. Nah, man, but working over there, man, I met so many great kids, man, and when you meet young people, you know, at a very early age, man, you just see all the potential, right? And you just like, man, like, you gonna do this, you gonna be great at this. Like, I can tell you, like, I actually met a kid who actually wanted to be a comedian. He was like, man, I'm gonna grow up, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm passionate about it. And we set up, you know, different talent shows and stuff, and he told jokes he was real good. I might need to, you know, get him in here.
Yeah, I love
comedy
to
show.
With him.
But, you know, being able to be in that space and see so many young people that, you know, just had so much potential, I'm just like, man, I know what the next generation of Birmingham, you know, it could be. And we just got to do our part. Like, people always talk about how, you know, back in my generation, we used to do this, that, and the third. Y'all done messed it up. It's like, bruh, like, you still here. That means that you still got work to do. Like, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still have work to do. It ain't over.
It's always work.
And I think when you get to a place where you feel like, yeah, I've learned everything, I know everything, hey, bro, you stop growing. You stop growing. You stop you stop adding value. And I can't stop, bro. Like, point blank period. Like, I can't stop. I know that there are too many people that are dependent on me that I don't even know. Like, each and every person I feel like is an answer to somebody's prayers, bro. Like, that's true. Point blank period. You know what I'm saying? Like, them jokes that you tell, they funny, but they heal. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, people need that. And, you know.
And we're going to heal you on on June 9th at the Start On.
Shout out.
Doors open at 6:15. Show starts promptly at 7:30. You can go to starton.com and get tickets, or you can stop by the barbershop, or I even meet you.
Hey,
to
look
get the
at
tickets, or you can cash up $ Benny Mac 205, and I'll hold your tickets for you at the door. You can get them that way. So I definitely got you. Now back to you, JT.
He be ready with these plugs, boy.
Hey,
Look, I ain't mad at it, brother. I need to
all
do
day,
better.
every day.
I need to do better. But yeah, man, I just feel like everybody is an answer to somebody's prayers, and you know, yeah, we gotta find our area to contribute and to add value. Been looking at different organizations, you know, like We Are Related and you know D2B, and you know, yeah, you know, and for the folks that, you know, got a lot to say and that's complaining, like, man, shoot, connect with somebody that's doing the work. Like, go to these different nonprofits, go to AG Gaston, Boys and Girls Club, find a place for you to, you know, to get involved and to add value. Like, cause we need it in order for our city to grow. So yeah.
Okay. All right. You got a couple questions and statements on here.
Okay.
All right. What up, Connie? What's going on? Hey, Shirley. Appreciate you tuning in. What's going on, Rico Harris? I Push Magazine. That's a great guy to link up with, too,
All
man.
right.
All right. And Roosevelt Carroll. What's up, DJ Belt Dog? What's happening? Jeremy Love. What's happening? All right. Jeremy Love said opportunity zones would definitely change the outlook of inner cities within the next 10 years. I agree. Look around the South and you'll see it. All right. And Shirley Hatcher said, never forget where you come from.
All right.
All right. And then Connie, here's the question.
Okay.
Connie said, are there any plans for creating a financial literacy and entrepreneurship program? That's one. And Mark said, if you're elected, how do you plan on working with the current or the next mayor based on your platform?
Got you. So first question about financial literacy classes. Yes, I do want to make sure, yeah, because she said that she wanted to make sure, let me see, where we at? Boom. Are there any plans for creating a financial literacy? Yeah, so there are several folks within our city that do financial literacy, right? And so it would just be a matter of partnering with them and really, again, bringing it back down to the neighborhood level. Like, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record when I say this, but, you know, everything starts at that neighborhood level. Like, we have got to get more people involved within their neighborhoods. And, you know, just being able to bring people within a space close to home that they feel comfortable and teaching them about financial literacy. Like, I have absolutely no problem with that, and I would be a big advocate for it. My thing is, you know, whatever the lack is in our communities, whatever the deficits are, whether it's financial literacy, whether it's, you know, education, like, I'm going to make sure that I bring that to our neighborhoods. I know currently our current mayor has, the ACE program. He has the ACE program where, you know, they pretty much teach people how a city works. I think it would be a cool idea for us to have that on a smaller scale within the neighborhood level, because there are a lot of people that probably won't be able to go to that. Even though it's online, like, I just think that we should still be able to offer things such as that within our neighborhood. But yeah, like I said, I'm open to offering whatever it is that we can to help people have more opportunities. I know I used to work at one of the Birmingham City schools here in District 4, and noticed that there was a deficit with young people understanding how to read and literacy. And I was just like, man, what can I do? You know, because in Birmingham, we had a high absenteeism rate, you know? And so one of the things that I was thinking about was like, man, you know, kids are supposed to come to school to learn, but if they're not coming to school, they still need to be able to learn. Like, how can we take education from within these four walls to their neighborhood? And had an opportunity to just start researching and had an aha moment. And I was like, okay, what I'll do is I'll get a mobile library, right? Like, I'll get a mobile library and bring that to the neighborhood, and, you know, we'll just set up shop right there, and we'll, you know, teach them right there in front of their front doors. I'm thinking that this is an original idea, but like I said, found that it's thousands of people that are doing this across the country. And so had an opportunity to find one lady who, you know, had just redeveloped a bus, and it looked nice. She took a short school bus and you know,
Put
gutted
on
it out.
put on
Short
short
bus.
bus.
Yeah, man, short bus shorted. Like
Just
she
don't
gut-
paint it yellow. Cause.
Hey, nah, it ain't. It's
Don't
white.
paint
It's
it.
white. You know what I'm saying? But she gutted it out and, you know, made it look real nice. And so I hit her up on Facebook just to find out, like, hey, how did you do this? Where did you find your bus? Where did you get funding? All of those things. I had a list of like 30 questions. Mind you, never met her before, never talked to her before. I called her. I reached out to her on Facebook and called her. And by the second minute of our phone conversation, you know, after me just telling her like, hey, I see that there's a deficit in our community. I want to be able to help kids. She was just like, well, JT, you know, I have a bus. You need a bus. How about I just give you my bus, you know? And I was like, are you serious? She was like, look. She was like, look, you know, I live in Dallas. If you could fly down to Dallas, get you a ticket, like you could drive the bus back to Birmingham and you can, you know, run your program. I'm like, bet. Me and the wife, you know what I'm saying? We made a vacation out of it. Went to a Miguel concert and everything. Drove back and, you know, like in 2019, 2019, I went over to Tom Brown Village and did exactly what it is that I said that I wanted to do. I set up chairs over in the Tom Brown Village Community Center. We were underneath the shade tree and I took books and I wrapped them to kids. Like I wrapped stories to kids. Now, the goal is to teach them how to read, but before I could do that, I realized I have to inspire, you know, the want to. Like I got to get you to want to. And so, shoot, you wrap a book to, you know, a little baby beat, like that the kids know and are familiar with. Like now they're gonna be trying to figure out, like, man, how can I do that? You know?
So you know the next question. All right,
what's up?
Barbershop Stories, the podcast,
all right.
episode 76. We sitting here with JT Moore, the rapper. Spit something.
Man, get out of here.
Yeah, man, don't spit
Hold
something, man.
Hold on, man. I'm a bottle at. I need to give me some water.
Yeah, that's you.
Man.
I mean, come
Listen. You get me a Dr. Seuss book, bro. I'll go in.
Hold on.
Hey, don't sleep on me. Don't sleep on me, bro.
But see, that's the fat part, because when I see people do stuff like that, I love it, because that just show that you're passionate about what you're doing. Because to break out spitting,
yeah,
and then make it make sense to children, that's a gift in itself.
Nah, man, cause the thing is, I would read like a Dr. Seuss book that's just fun, right? But then I would also find books that have like a theme to it, that really communicates some type of application that you could, you know, use within your neighborhood. So there was one book called Something Beautiful about this young girl who lives in, you know, the inner city, and you know, she's walking around, she sees all this trash in the neighborhood, she sees, you know, the homeless person that's laying on the street, and she's just like, you know, it's graffiti everywhere. But then she's also like, well, I also see that, you know, there's a business owner who looks like me. That's my auntie, you know, and I know I have a relationship with, you know, family members that live here. And by the end of the book, she, you know, comes to the realization like, hey, it's my responsibility to take care of my neighborhood. So I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna clean up the graffiti and I'm gonna clean up the trash. And after I read the book, like, we have a conversation about it. Like, hey, how do you feel about the community that you live in, you know? And what do you think that you can do to make it better? And, you know, the kids, man, they had so many great answers and were really engaged and really, you know, had ideas about things that they wanted to implement. And I'm just like, bro, we got to tap into that. Like, we have to tap into that. Like, a lot of people don't know that, you know, and this is kind of switching gears back to neighborhood associations, but a lot of people don't know at the age of 16, like, young people have the right to vote in neighborhood associations.
Now, that I didn't know. I thought it was 18 across the board.
Nah, and at 18, they have the opportunity to serve as neighborhood officers. Now, how cool would it be for you to be a senior in your high school, right? And to be a neighborhood officer, making decisions in your neighborhood, making decisions about a budget that you could wield, you know, in your neighborhood. Like,
that's a piece of information I did not know about 16. We got a question here, too.
Me and Ben was talking about it a couple of days ago, and he just spoke on a minute ago about changing our narrative.
Yeah.
We was talking about changing toward white.
Okay.
Now, how do we change it in our own neighborhood? Like you just said, a lot of kids don't even know they can be voted in as part of the neighborhood association.
Yeah.
How do we get in there and change that for our own?
I mean,
more so than outside the, you know, community.
Yeah, man. I mean, for real, what I'm realizing, you know, as I pursue this position, like, solutions are not hard to come by, right? So I just say, like, just do the work. Say what you want to see. like instead of what we always have been doing. You know, yeah, like I'm one who is just like you. I'm extremely optimistic. So people have told me, you know, several times, like, hey JT, this is not something that you need to be doing. Like, you know, I'm always receiving, you know, statements of discouragement from folks because they're trying to put their limited mindsets and their limited beliefs on me. But that ain't what I subscribe to. Like, if I say I'm gonna do something, then that's what I'm gonna do. If I want my community to look good and be a safe place for me to live, like that's what it's gonna be. Like, and I just gotta move with that. And so if we want to see our young people be successful, like we gotta speak life into them and not continue to, you know, tell them like, oh, that's that bad little, you know, knucklehead that's, you know, always doing this, that, and the third. Now, it very well may be the truth, you know what I'm saying? But like, if we want him to change, we got to speak some different into him because we don't know what he may be receiving at home or what she may be receiving at home. There's a lot of deficits in our home, and a lot of what I'm trying to, you know, communicate to people is like, if you want to see folks change, like you might have to be the one to initiate it. You know what I'm saying? Even though they not your kids, even though that's not your, you know, your family member, like you might have to be the one to get involved and do something about it. And so, are you willing to do that though? Are you willing to inconvenience yourself? You know,
and it's funny you say that because you know the topic for tomorrow is when is it okay to basically chastise or discipline somebody else's children.
I saw your post. Yeah.
Yeah. So and to me that's always interesting because to me, like for an example, the kids that stay next door to me, they grandchildren and children of my neighbor, good neighbor, but I keep my yard semi-immaculate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't the best, but that shit fine.
Okay.
Fresh edge up, all that.
Oh, that's all you need.
All right. So they hoop in their front yard, which means you know what that means. It's goddamn dirt patch. So you know if you got somebody out there hooping, it's gonna attract other children. So if you attract other children, that means you got motherfucking bug juice bottles, drink cups, all that shit. So me, I really don't like saying shit to folks children because I know me. I'm gonna just tell them straight up.
Can you please stay off my friggin' grass?
Yeah, but me, I'm a little bit more
okay,
urban.
all right.
Just a little bit more urban. So I told him straight up, I was like, hey man, what's up, man? So I grabbed the ball, I said, got the ball, of course, swish, you know what I'm saying? Didn't expect nothing different.
Right.
Swished it. So when they were like, oh man, what's up? I said, hey, but before y'all leave, pick the paper up. You know what I'm saying? Do that for them. They were like, all right. And they picked it up. So sometimes it be about the approach.
Yeah.
I think you can chastise for children, but I think chastising folks' head is ass whooping, belt, holler at. To me, chastising can be like, hey man, let me holler at you for a second.
Correction.
What y'all here doing, man? What y'all up there doing, man? Come on, let's go to the store, man. You know what I'm saying? And just talk to them. And that right there can be a guilt trip in itself to them.
Yeah.
Like, damn, this nigga nice as hell, and I live all this shit in that man yard, man. So, you know, man, that's interesting, though. And like I said, engagement, that is the key.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
A simple conversation goes so far.
Man.
Because, like, my neighbors, like now, East Lake is starting to get a lot of Hispanic neighbors.
Okay.
So what I did, now, I get to them. When they first moved there, I'm friendly. That don't make no difference to me. I speak to you, and just you get smart with I know what to watch.
What's up? Yeah.
So he came over to me. Hey, man, what's up, man? I'm like, shit, what up? He's like, you drink? I'm like, I drink. No, I don't drink, but what you got? I'm like, all right, let's see. So I was like, whatever you drink, I'll drink with you. So they had some Buchanan's, and that's some, it's not a bourbon. It's a, well, anyway, Buchanan's. It's a whiskey. And I volunteered for the wrong shit. I could have probably jumped 93. It's better, I ain't gonna lie. But I'm a G, you know what I'm saying? I'm standing there like, you know?
Yeah.
But he reached out, and then now, every now and then, I may drop off a bottle of Buchanan's. You know, he may come through, hey man, we cook. I'm like, well, I don't really want no enchilada, but, you know, I might eat it later on, you know what I'm saying? But just to kind of know your neighbor, that shit is valuable.
Man.
Because they also say shit like, hey, you know a guy in a red car? And such, but if you don't speak to these folks, why would they tell you there's a nigga was in your house breaking in?
Oh, straight up.
Don't talk to me today.
Don't talk to me fucking day.
Listen, I know all the folks that live around me, like every neighbor. Like I know when I first got into my house, the house that we're living in now, like I went across the street because I was cutting my yard and I saw my neighbor, like his yard needed to be cut too. So I was like, man, shoot, I'm out here. Like, ain't nobody gonna get mad at you for cutting their grass, you know, especially if you do a good job, because I be edging stuff up too, you know.
I say, long as you don't scap it.
Listen.
You gonna fall out in
Right.
3.5 years.
I'm the yard barber, you know what I'm saying? Like, I come through there and
Yeah,
split
go
it,
get right.
you know. And so, did that a couple of times, and, you know, it opened up lines of communication between us, you know. I see sometimes where, you know, I needed to take my trash out, and my neighbors hadn't done theirs, and so I take their trash out, and it's now, you know, when me and my wife had our last daughter in 2020, you know, we was in the house a lot of times. I ain't really have time or feel like taking my trash out. Like, they'll come and grab my stuff, you know.
You created that demand for, hey man, he looked out, and a good
Yeah,
person, they gonna almost make sure they return that favor.
And that's the power and you know, value of just having that positive energy. Like, it becomes contagious. Like, and that's community. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's community. That's the small acts that build the trust. You know what I'm saying? That's the small, you know, things that, you know, help you to build that line of communication for folks to now tell you, like, hey, somebody was at your door. Like, I speak to everybody that comes across my street. And it's, you know, some ladies that, you know, are out there, you know, doing what they do or whatever. But while everybody else was getting their Amazon packages stolen off of their porch, like, one of the ladies came and told me, like, hey, you know, it was 10 o'clock at night. She was knocking on the door, like, hey, you know, I just wanted to let you know you got a package out here. I don't want anybody to take it. It's like, and she looked out.
That's the value of knowing your folks.
And it's like,
Cool,
man,
That's
everybody could have that though, and nobody can tell me that they don't want to live in a community where, you know, folks are looking out for you like that, you know. So yeah.
And I think ultimately, hopefully we see it in our lifetime, but it's definitely it's a paradigm shift, like a hard shift.
Yeah.
But if a person ain't really conscious, they ain't gonna really see it. And conscious don't mean that, you know, some people think that shit means something special. No, it just means you're aware of what's going on.
Awareness.
And if you ain't conscious and you caught up in all the bullshit, it's gonna always look like everything the same. You're gonna get caught up in watching CNN all day and all that. But when you just actually look around you and realize that you're a part of the problem and you can solve most of that shit yourself, it changes.
Yeah.
Take everybody, most definitely.
It changes.
Most definitely.
That's a good way of changing the narrative about you, like what you two guys were saying.
Yeah.
They probably thought of you one way by you guys engaging your neighbor.
Exactly.
Totally dispel
I'm
all
telling
that.
you,
Killed all that bad vibe.
Cause man, cause all that mean mud across the street, I'm one of them that I walk right across there with that loose ass white beat on. What up, dog?
Exactly.
How you doing, man?
And find out they cool
And
too.
find
Yeah.
out-
That mean, bud.
For
Cause
real.
they don't know nothing about it. That's what
Yeah.
we've been taught to do. That's been the
For real.
narrative.
All
Yeah.
that hard ass shit you mess
Yeah.
around and do that nigga be like,
Been letting too much rap.
right. Nice little mother, get your nice ass out of there.
I don't know why we think we gotta
Just
start
speak.
stuff off muggy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Shit
saying?
is
Oh,
an
man,
inherited
crazy.
trait.
Yeah, bro.
It's an
that's crazy.
inherited trait that
Yeah.
really is not hard to break because honestly, even the most ratchetest of the ratchet, hoodest of the hood,
Be cool as hell.
told that motherfucker cool as hell, depending on the approach. You
Yeah.
can't walk to him, you stupid ass nigga around
Oh, it's
there.
over with.
You
Yeah,
causing
suck
the
up, suck up.
community. I
Yeah.
tell you,
It's
all that
over.
nigga, shut up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's over
You
with.
offended him, but
It's over with.
you come to him right, man, most of the time, you don't have no problem.
Yeah.
And I know that for a fact. So, you know, man, I think it definitely take a certain set of people, you know, I'm just gonna throw this term out there, the indigo people. When you get a chance, look that up.
Okay.
And I swear the next time we do part
Right,
two,
too.
the conversation gonna be interesting. But yeah, I think that the people that was born around a certain time, I think they was born for a reason. And I think they was born at a particular time just to do and take on what's happening now. I think God's ultimate plan we'll never really know. A lot of time we ain't gonna see it years later. Sometime because we
If
in the
you
moment.
see it at all.
Yeah, if you see it at all, but somebody's gonna see it.
Yeah.
So I think that, like how they say these children now so hard headed and all that, I don't think they hard headed. I just think that nobody, well, I ain't gonna say nobody. A lot of people ain't tuned in to or honed in to what they really here for.
Yeah.
Because a nigga who bucking and got attitude and all that, I love him. All he got to do is just put it toward the right direction. You can't let
Absolutely.
it go toward that 38
Yeah,
or that damn or that Draco. You got to put it toward the right thing.
Yeah.
Because when you think about Huey P. Newton, and all them other fellas associated with black. You know how
Red
old them
Hampton,
motherfuckers
Bobby
was?
Seale,
You know how old them fellas
They
was?
was young.
They were like 19, 20,
Yes, they
21.
was young.
Now, when you see them big fros and beards, they look older, but they was children technically.
Yeah.
And them the people who we gonna have to rely on. So as you said earlier, we got to catch them while they young. Where they like, man, you know, Mr. Moore came back here, man, and get older. I remember Mr. Moore one nigga hairline right here. And shit like, Mr. Moore, man, he was so cool, man. He was a hoot with us. They remember shit like that.
But you
See,
got
being not to cut you off, but being out of touch can add to a lot of that, and a lot of those stigmas and narratives being perpetuated and going on and on and on. But like you said, you take somebody, for example, I guess tonight, 33 years old, getting out there being a different type of example. And it that changed the narrative in itself almost, because I was going to ask you the question about a post I seen you make about how do people feel about neighborhood, is it neighborhood officials or city councilmen?
term limits.
Term limits.
City council. I was
City
talking about
councilman. Yeah. So I mean, if you think about the same mindset sitting in those seats all that time, like you said, in an unlimited, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pretty much seat that you got until when you fired for some strange reason, or
The only way
some
you
type
get
of scandal
fired
come
is
up on you,
Mhm.
you know, something like that.
Yeah.
So, not saying that who's who made this decision or whatever, not pointing the finger at anybody, but just think, these people, you got the same mindset sitting in a place for such and such amount of years. So if you never allow change or anything different to enter that room, guess what? It's gonna keep on going the same way. And that got a lot to do with that's one of those variables we were talking about earlier. There's a lot of variables that go into the reasons why our communities are the way they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not just the one or two things that we always talking about. You know, the killing, the crime. There's a lot of things that go into that.
Yeah.
And you know, having stale council members might be one of the biggest. You know what I'm saying?
But
Change it up, man. Put some young, fresh ideas in there.
I think it become
Or some
about
old good ones.
I think
Right,
it become
right.
about power at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because to me,
absolutely.
I don't think no city official should be able to do over 8 years. I don't
Yeah.
give a damn what you done did.
Exactly.
Because to me, you should have a protege, somebody who you
There
mentored
you
or
go.
whatever up under
There
you.
you
Well,
go.
after your age, hey, bro, look, I
Well,
brought this
honestly.
shit right here.
Yeah.
You carry this shit on, or make this shit better what I was doing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because as
That's
time changes, shit change.
conservatism. Yeah.
See, but so I put that post out, right? And I just wanted to see what people thought about, term limits for city council. And I got, some different, opinions,
Yeah.
right? Some people was like, yes, we need to do term limits because, people just sit in there forever and they don't do nothing. We need new faces and new young blood or whatever. But then I had other folks that was just like, nah, because what if we got somebody that's good in there, like, we don't want them to have to leave, when they doing a good job. We want them to carry on the work. And it's
I
like,
seen
but
that made sense.
yeah, but my problem with that though is that's assuming that they're the only person that could do good
They
work.
do the job.
Yeah, man, listen.
Jordan had to retire.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Shit.
somebody got to pass the baton,
Yeah.
and you got to be training up folks to take your space. And I feel like
Not a
that.
monarchy.
Yes,
Yeah.
man. Like, and I feel like that's one of the biggest tragedies that we have is when we have good folks who are in there doing the work, who have the experience and the knowledge that we need, and they don't share it. You know what I'm saying? They see themselves as being a person that's supposed to hold this position until they die out. Like, what good are you
Until they
really?
get tired.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what good are you really doing us if you do the work, but then you take all that information and experience with you? Like, train somebody up. Like, that's the ultimate goal, is to really recreate leaders. And so everything that I know, like, I want to be able to share that with folks so that it's not just one person who's doing the work. We got several folks.
There you go, Mom.
Like, yeah, like we don't need to just have one person that's in this position doing this work. Like,
That's right.
that's how our city is going to continue to grow and progress. Like, and I feel like right now we're not progressing as much as we should have. with all the years and decades of leadership that we've had in this city,
Talking about black folk.
man.
So I know you run for office, so some of this shit ain't. So what I do, as you said, I'm like, you talking about all them niggas that was down there since '79.
I need to take you with me on every interview, bro.
Hey, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm self-funded, so I
Right,
can
right,
talk all
right.
this shit I please. But yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I think that it was some good mayors that came through
Absolutely,
there,
absolutely.
maybe at first. But I
Um,
think like with Richard Arrington being in there 20 years, I'm yes and no on him. I think he was good for the time.
Got you.
I think if he
Yeah.
got in '79, he probably should have came. Because you got to remember, there was no black mayor prior to that. Atlanta had just got their first one 6 years prior to that, 6, 7 years prior to that. And I think the South was changing. And I think at that particular time, he was needed for what he was doing. But I think around '89, it probably should have been another brother who was a little younger and funkier that came after that era. You know what I'm saying? And said, okay, boom.
Yeah.
I think he should have, because he left what in '99, man. That's 20
Yeah.
years, man. You think about how long that is. You know, I ain't saying it was bad, because at the time,
This is what was needed.
you know, it was a large population of black people that was underrepresented. So, but I still think around '89, he might have should have passed it on to Larry then. Before them folks started fucking with Larry real bad. And I think he would have been good. But I
Yeah.
think when you get so old, you turn into, motherfucker, you're going to listen to me. I
Yeah.
don't give a goddamn if I'm right or wrong. The turkey shirt in, Jonathan. What the hell wrong with you? Who you talking to? All that shit
Yeah.
instead of, bro, what do you think?
Yeah. And that's a problem, man. Like, you have
Big
to have
time.
discernment about when it's your time to go.
Yeah.
Like, when is your time to go?
Oh, them niggas heard.
Yeah.
Oh, they heard it now.
And just ignored it.
They just
I mean,
ignored
yeah, man, we just need some people that are sensitive to that and, you know, willing to obey that feeling that they have, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's true. Well, that's what's up.
Man.
Well, I mean, we ain't gonna hold you up too long
I
because we
appreciate
already
it.
know. Because honestly, I can say it, we can go all night. But I know, you
Everyday
know, it's,
conversation in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Man. At some point in the
oh
day.
yeah.
Right.
See, there's a little black woman up there in Southeast Lake with two little head ass children that gonna probably be calling momentarily. I already know.
Right.
Then asking the city question like, "Where you at? I'm sure you watching. You know what I'm
Turn
at,
on
right?
YouTube.
Just want to see
Right,
what they
right.
gonna say. And I might say, man, we over at the platinum, you know, John, just mess
Hey,
with.
brother, I'm at the Benny Mac's Barbershop on First Avenue.
Damn, JT,
I
you
am
set
nowhere-
up right too. There.
I am nowhere near the platinum.
Say this is not the platform.
Yeah.
Down at the platinum campaign. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get young people to vote. Boom, perfect excuse. We're trying to get young people to vote.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So before we leave, I do
Yes,
have to ask
sir.
you this. I have to ask you this. You like sports?
So
NBA, NFL,
and if,
NHL.
so you know what, I
kickball,
ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't watched sports in I don't know how long. Now, if you ask me about Coco Melon, Alpha Blocks, and you know Doc McStuffins, all that. Yeah. That's where I'm at in my life right now.
I think I'm about 2 years removed.
Yeah, you know.
Right now we
already
dealing
know
with
where you at,
what them
Jack.
little girl is, them little what they call them girls, them little vampire girls,
Oh.
the little purple mom, the little purple.
I know
body.
what you're talking about.
Goddamn, I can't think of them, but they sing like hell. I'm talking TV. If it go to 40, the TV on 42.
Right.
You like, turn the shit down. Please.
Right. Just turn it down.
Probably turn on the trap.
Right.
Brought up the, oh, you got 2 girls too, huh? Man, yeah.
So
The
2 years
the
old.
2-girl crew sitting up
Listen,
there.
man.
Oh,
Look,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
outnumbered, man. Y'all pray for me. They
Yeah.
beautiful though, you know.
No, them girls though, them young
gonna
ladies
take-
though, but I'm gonna throw this out there just
Alright.
on some more what they say country shit.
Okay.
Now actually, you know how everybody be talking about the black woman, the queen, the black woman, the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the woman was that nigga.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everything came through the woman. Now my question is just knowing history, how did it flip? Because you know everybody say oh, it came from the black woman and all that. So what would make us think she wouldn't be the head?
Hmm.
It's just something to think about.
All right, I'm gonna think about
It's
it.
just something to think
Cause
about.
I was trying to see where you was going with it. You
Yeah,
know?
because just think about it. You know, a lot of people say, the world, Mother Earth, it came from the black woman. The black woman is a mother. So why would the man be the head? We had a conversation on radio today. We was talking about if a woman proposed to a man, how would that look? I said, well, it's tradition because it depends on what you believe in and how you ride.
Mhm.
Because if you believe that that woman is that is the bearer of life, why would she be the head? That don't mean you can't be a head too.
Yeah.
There's multiple kings.
Traditionally, probably killed everybody outlook on that.
Exactly, but
That
tradition make it
strange.
look so
Yeah.
bad. So that's why I say, so me having young ladies, to me, I look at it as an honor. Because, see, one thing about them young ladies,
Oh, absolutely.
they gonna get shit done if they done right. If you treat
Oh.
them right and they done right, they gonna kick ass and they gonna get emotional about it. The dude may be like, you know what, man, just fuck that shit. No, I want it.
Yeah.
Like, what, go,
You just want to
like,
propose and marry a nigga that
Listen.
got somewhere to stay in a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Don't
how I
propose
feel.
and marry nobody. You got to. He gonna pull up with him on the passenger side.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that proposal thing, but nah, I definitely know that, you know, my daughters are extremely passionate, even at an early age, and I ain't got nothing to worry about, and it's because they take after their mama. Like, my wife is a beast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're, like, the man that you see right here, you know, today, is because of, you know, a lot of encouragement and
Well, that's what's
patience. Patience.
So you know what that means, right?
What's up?
You got the mind.
Yeah.
Like them old folks say, bottom line, you got the mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
JT, no, JT. Come on here, JT. Tell them boys to cut that shit off.
Come on, let's go.
I'm just messing.
Nah, man, but yeah, she the truth, man. So
Yeah, that's what's
she
up,
definitely
man.
keep me in
And
line.
and that's good for a man to reverence his wife or a woman to reverence their husband.
Yeah.
But watch this. Going back to what about the proposal, like to me, I'm 50-50 on it. I'm
Mm,
gonna tell you why though. Because think about this. Would you want something that didn't want you? So if you propose to a woman and she's like, yes, because JT got the house, the car, the dog, he got the big chain, the glasses match, all that, she'll say yes just because of that. But if a woman's pursuing you,
Yeah.
she may really desire you. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Most
'cause-
time they tell us they ready long for
You know what I'm
years
saying?
anyway.
But
They don't propose her, but they done told her they.
Cause watch this. So
You know
what's
what I'm
the difference
saying?
if she's saying, JT, we've been going together for 10 years, you need to go marry me or else. She made you do it then. She just didn't say it in those words.
She talking it up, huh?
She told
She
you.
ain't get on one knee.
Yeah, she just didn't get on one
Yeah,
knee. She
that the
just
tradition.
But the
threatened
thing-
your ass.
But the thing is, I feel like
That's what she
as
did.
men, we got egos, we got pride, right? You know,
Based on societal establishment.
I mean, but yeah,
It's based
I
really
hear
based
you.
on what somebody told us how to feel. Cause I'm married, and if your woman sometime always passive, you like she cool, but sometimes you want to say, hey, JT, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
You can do this shit.
yeah,
That don't mean she being aggressive. That means she may be interested in the person who
Right.
she really wants. So to me, proposal, I don't see being a problem. Ain't no difference between her nigga and dirty man.
nah, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. You know
so
what I'm
for
saying?
me,
That
for
shit,
me,
your motherfucking jeans ain't no clean to man. I like my Levi too. I don't want to wash
Boy,
them either.
crazy, boy.
I want to hang them back up too. You know what I'm saying? Every nigga in the room though,
Man.
nigga don't wear Levi's and wash them off the first wear.
every man wants to be. I love the chase though. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
On both ends.
yeah, I
both
don't know. In that regard, like I couldn't see it. Maybe maybe I'm conditioned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm conditioned.
But I understand, but like, notice, I didn't say I disagree, but
Yeah.
I try to look at it for what it is. Because if you think about it, a lot of traditions that we follow throughout life has been wrong.
Yeah,
So, but all these people like to say, the conscious people, the black woman is the God and that. So what makes you think that she wouldn't be?
but then too,
Now,
you know, go ahead.
I think when people go to jumping, what they call male chauvinist or female chauvinist, it end up turning to who's the most powerful, but really a household run by two.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But that's just me trying to be open-minded about it, because what if you propose to her, but she run your ass? It's the same thing. Think about it. If she in the house and she run you and, hey, I'm just going to use your name. Hey, it was a JT in there. Jay, he in there. What you want with him? Hey, baby, we're finna go down over there to Applebee. Hey! JT ain't finna go nowhere. It's the same shit. Or Benny can't go. You're like, what the fuck? I can't go.
Yeah.
Hey, man, she tripping, man. We're gonna go on, get in the dining room cleaned up and shit, man. Trying to talk soft because she hears she gonna
You
snap.
right.
What's the difference?
Man,
Like,
yeah.
if you really think about it, what's the difference? It's the way society presented that makes it look so bad.
yeah,
Because I'm telling you, the average
Tradition,
woman
man.
proposes to the dude anyway. When a woman get locked on you and she know you got potential, you a provider, you about your shit, guess what? You know, we've been together for years. She basically saying, hey, nigga, you better tighten up or I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And guess what we do? I mean, you know, she been talking about, you know, I've been with her about 4 years, you know. You know, I'm going to do it, you know what I'm saying? K, how you felt when you did? All that shit, you go ask them nigga how they felt. So she really did it.
Yeah.
She just did it in a subtle way.
But
it's the same shit.
But even if she did it that way, you still feel like it's on my terms.
You just felt like you said that you fat. You
it's
said that made
it's
you
on
fat.
my terms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I propose to you, like I'm in control.
And
But
you
really,
know
like I
it ain't
said,
she threatened you and then you proposed to her. It wasn't on your turn. You did it because the threat of loss.
hey, but the truth of the matter is, I ain't gonna lie. Like it's a lot of dudes that that need pressure though, because otherwise, like we'll get complacent.
Yeah.
Like if it's working how it is, and I ain't got no reason to jump on no knee,
They say why buy the cow when I get the milk
for free.
Most
Like,
of
About that.
Close
like-
that thing out now.
yeah.
Listen,
for a lifetime.
Going together for 30 years. He just got married a week before last. What's his name, man?
Right.
That nigga gone ass since about the summer of 79. Just not married her ass. Right after the pandemic, when they took the mask off, he was on mask. I give it to him. Now that nigga deserve MVP.
See?
He ain't fall into that pressure. He just got sugar and he was about to watch him. So he had to get somebody to watch him now. So he
Well,
pulled off. Took her hand and married like shit. We need somebody to watch a nigga. Just got past.
So watch a nigga.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 76. We got JT Moore here. City Councilman.
Oh man, that was
candidate
funny.
election, August the 24th. District 4,
Man, got me
August the
crying,
24th,
bro.
man. Not my eye, man. I need to go sleep.
Alright.
I feel my wife finna text me a call, man.
Well, listen.
Main one.
Let me just
Man,
get my
want to talk
website.
shit. I gotta get home.
Right, man.
Got the
Let me. Well, look. Again, I appreciate y'all having me here. Like I said, my name is JT Moore. I'm running for District 4, City Council seat. If you would like to learn more information about me, go to my website, morefor4.com. That's MOOREFOR, the number 4.com. Right, JT Moore for District 4, man. It rhyme. It's an earworm. Like, remember that. August 24th. I need y'all to remember JT Moore for District 4. And again, like, I want you to be informed about who I am. If you go to my website, my cell phone number as well as my email address is attached to it. So if you see something on my website that you still just have questions about, like, hit me up. It goes straight to my phone. Because I want to make sure that people are making informed decisions. What I don't want to happen is I don't want people to just give their vote away and not get anything for it in return. I need you to look at it as your political currency. And nobody would ever go to a business or a barbershop and, pay for a service that they didn't receive. Like, wouldn't nobody sit in Benny Mac chair or, Sammy chair and just give them money and then walk out without a haircut? Like, you
right about
you
that.
came for a haircut. And so when you give your vote away, that's the same thing that you're doing. You're giving your political currency away, and you're not getting anything in return for it. And so I just want to make sure that people are really thinking about it and, not being tricked by the fact that this is an election year and you're hearing a lot of communications from our current representative, and that you're seeing a lot more activity. It's for a reason. And so be mindful of that. Do your research. Also, if you would like to find out more information about your neighborhood and when your neighborhood association meets, like I said, you can go to my website. I have a resource tab. You can click on District 4. It has all of the neighborhoods, the days and times that they meet, who the neighborhood association president is, just all the information that you would need to be able to be more informed about what's happening in your neighborhood. So, that's me. And like I said, I would love to have your support on August 24th.
Hey, but that's what it is. JT Moore, District 4.
Hey.
City of Birmingham. Make sure you go out and vote August the 24th. All right, now let me throw my little spiel, man.
All right.
All right, now it is showtime. Hey, make sure you tune in to B94.9 Home Team Morning Show every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 to 10. Drinker the Eyelash Diva, Homie J, and myself, comedic narrator, Haircut Schlanger Benny Mac from the east side. Yeah, so make sure you tune into that. We have a lot of live, local, lit topics, just like tomorrow. You know, of course, if you're watching this today, Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, we're talking about people chastising your children. You know, they be real topics in a community-based show. You can call in 205-994-8949. We'll be there, and I might even answer the phone. All right, and also, too, if you are into entertainment, this is what I got for you. This Tuesday, if you are into independent artists, I ain't talking about just somebody playing real independent artists. We got a Talent You Need to Know Tuesday concert series this Tuesday, 7 p.m. at Roost Place. You can get your tickets. You can just send it to me, $BennyMac205, and put in the subject line that you know what it's for. Also, Wednesday, June the 9th, at the Start On, we got the Wednesday Night Laughs. It's Oscar P., Cooley Ward, Jason Shorter, and myself. I'll be hosting comedic narrator Benny Mac at the Start On. You can get those tickets as well. You can stop by the Barbershop and you can get a hard copy ticket, or you can go to startdome.com, or once again, cash at me for tickets, and I can write your name on them and have them for you at the door. That's $BennyMac205. And also, if you are in the Auburn, Alabama area, June the 11th and June the 12th, I'll be in Auburn at Crown of Comedy Club with Dad Az and Melissa, Social Media All-Stars. I'll be the feature on that show that night. So if you're in that area, come check us out. June the 18th, I'll be with Charles Winston at the Comedy Cave. Look for more info on that. You can just check my page out where you are now, and you can see that flyer. The 26th, if you are in the North Mississippi area, I'll be in your area there. So come check that out. Then all these dates you can see on my Instagram, Facebook, or wherever. You see all those dates. Also, July the 4th, I'll be in Lynchburg, Virginia. So if you're in that area, you come check us out. Myself, Terry, Melissa will be in Lynchburg, Virginia. So make sure you check that out. And it's more. It's just a few videos. It's just a few more. There ain't many more. All right, June 9th and 10th, we are in the Gastonia, North Carolina area. We'll be there on the 9th and the 10th. Terry, Melissa, and myself. Y'all stay tuned for that. And I ain't going to throw out too many more dates because I don't want you to forget about the 8th and the 9th. We're going to tackle them first. And also, we're Real Barbershop. Make your appointment today. It's 6 of us in here. It's King, it's Ashley, it's Corey, it's Otha Luther King, it's Sam, and myself. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience. Any time of the day, just make an appointment. 205-591-2887 or 591-CUTS, or you can visit us online at BennyMaxOnFirst.com, and you can go to your selected barber, set an appointment from there, and you can also see us all over Facebook, man. All of these barbers got videos because they fat. And remember, fat haircuts ain't fast. You want it right, you come see us. And with that being said, I'm comedic narrator, haircut Schlanger Benny Mac. That's K1. We glad to have him back.
K1 in the house.
Oh yeah, where you go? Even though I went to LSU, you know what I'm saying? Lawson State, baby.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying? Lawson State. Yeah, and then of course we got my man Sammy No Nose over there. And we appreciate everybody who came through. My man Trey over there, right?
Yes, sir.
Trey. You know what I'm saying? In the building, he waved his hand like he was in the camera. But yeah, but shout out to Trey over there. But yeah, we out. We'll see you not next week because we'll be at the Start On. We'll see you the week after that. And make sure you stay tuned in, like, watch, and share this post. We'll see you next time. Barbershop Stories, the podcast/talk show. We'll see you next week. Bye.
And real quick too, just want to say, you know what I'm saying, check out my website, morefor4.com. You can also make contributions. Got to remember to keep saying that. You can make contributions because we need money to campaign, as well as volunteers. So if you would like to sign up to volunteer, on Saturdays we go canvas. I'm really gonna start calling it workout Saturdays because these heels they get you. So yeah, if you would like to volunteer or contribute, make sure that you check out the website.
That's right.
Barbershop Stories, 76 in the book.